Welcome back, crawlers, to the show where we talk about being under a totalitarian regime beset on all
And also read a book.
and also read a. Damn it! You did it before my joke.
I'm sorry. You can finish your whole thing.
Ah,
You had a long pause, so I thought you were there.
well, I was doing the 1,000-yard stare, but I keep forgetting that no one can see me. So, if anything, this discussion is funnier. I don't know, but yes, we are all waiting to be crushed under the weight of this regime, much like how the crawlers are waiting to be crushed by the floor if they do not get out in time. So everyone, get out of here in time before the crush happens. I am Mike.
I'm Data.
I'm Tim.
And I'm alive.
I don't got anything to add because the news this week has been really depressing. I could make jokes, but we're just waiting to see if a nuke is about to get dropped. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Also, we read chapters 20 through 22 of Carl's Doomsday scenario, just in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you'd pick this random ass episode in the middle of the show to start, but yes, this is a Dungeon Crawler Carl read-along podcast. Thank you for joining us. Please do not turn on the news. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Just turn this into like the fucking Doug theme song. No one would notice. I'd
be on board with that, actually.
There was something. There was very, very twangy, like bass heavy theme songs around the early '90s. Because I think about that theme song. I think about the Seinfeld theme song.
Oh, yeah. There's a very like twangy, poppy sort of Seinfeld sound to the Seinfeld theme song.
But also like cop shows, I'm pretty sure had that kind of shit. Like Law and Order, I think had that Chicago. What is it? What was it? Chicago Blue or something? What was it called?
I don't know.
Do you remember that cop show? It was the first show that had David Caruso on as a cop. Timmy, Chicago Blues. Is that what it was called?
David Caruso, Island of Monroe.
Thanks, Tim. You're always a good help.
Okay, hold on. We're going to find out. David Caruso, known for CSI Miami and NYPD Blue, has not appeared in Chicago PD.
Oh, I mixed the two shows. It was NYPD Blue and Chicago PD. Okay. So he showed up in NYPD Blue?
Yes, he's known for CSI Miami and NYPD Blue, apparently. According to Google AI, if you want to trust that.
Interesting. Oh, this is a weird conversation to come back into the show with, but hello, everybody. Good to see you again this week.
Mike, at least knew David Caruso. That's that was enough to get us there. So yes, we read 3 chapters this time, leaving only 3 chapters and an epilogue in this book. So we are right up against the end of it. What did you guys think of these 3 chapters?
These were my favorite chapters of the book. I think they're the best chapters of the book. I don't know if I would say that they're my favorite chapters of the series so far, because I don't think that enough happened for me to say that. But we got some heavy lore stuff. We got a big break in the investigation, and we got some really decent fights. Also some intrigue, which was fun. I love... Yeah, like there's like some like weird spycraft type shit that happened in this series of chapters, which I really enjoyed. We got some really good synergy in the team right now, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoy the party of 3, which is slowly turning into a party of 4.
Maybe,
yeah, because we got like a hinting of that Heckless girl was going to be joining them, at least farming some experience, and Mordecai was going to help her with her abilities. But I guess she was just too green to be able to go with them on this shit. So
You probably don't throw the new girl in the deep end when she's still trying to learn the basics of her.
I mean, you know, like it's like if you're like on a mission and you get a new recruit, and it's just like, all right, so what you got to know is that these bats with lady faces, those are the heads of dead prostitutes. Okay, they're technically ghosts, but technically not. They're technically just pieces of reanimated corpses. But shh, we think that it goes all the way to the top. The mayor, we think the mayor's behind it, so we got to go and talk to the mayor or blow him up. Whichever one is more poignant at the time. Also, you know, we also have like this letter that's covered in blood. It's actually a microphone. So anyway, you ready? I have several questions. Several very important questions.
Nah, it's all good.
First of all, am I being paid? No. But that it was really fun. The prospect of having a new party member, that was fun. I love how the main party team have like all of these strategies that are kind of built in, and I love them using those strategies, and I love seeing those strategies fail in interesting ways. I love having scenes where everything you need to know about what's happening in that scene is happening in that scene, and I love seeing a plan just meet the enemy and just fall to pieces nearly immediately. Like that shit was fun. So a lot of good destruction, some good fights, some fun setup for our finale, and we now have a road towards the big bad / final fight for the book.
Yeah,
So that's there's a lot of really good prospects here. There's a lot of really good setup. So there was a little bit of payoff, like finding out who or what or where all of these, what are they called? Kurosai? How do I say that word? I've never been able to pronounce it right.
It is an odd word that. Hold on, let me look back at it and see if I can.
The floating lady head ghosts.
With the
his name was David Caruso.
Yeah, so the flying David Carusos. It was good to know what the Carusos, like where they were coming from, and the twist with the I know I keep calling him the mayor, but that's just funny to me. But the magistrate, he was dead the whole time. Like I loved all of that shit. That was fun. So I really enjoyed all three of these chapters.
But it is funny that they find this out after they've like blown the whole thing up and killed the boss. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess.
But who was the boss? Was it the magistrate or was it the assistant? Was it the butler the whole time?
I think Krasu is how I would pronounce that word. I don't know.
I mean, we've already done the David Caruso bit now, so they're called Carusos from this
It's
point
been
on.
established.
It's canon now. You're welcome.
Everyone enjoy that picture. It's now David Caruso's head.
A bunch of
floating
David
around,
Carusos
yeah.
with sunglasses.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
It's the
Tim.
noises they make.
What did you think of these 3 chapters, Tim?
I liked them. Like overall, I really liked them. It's fun that they're actually going to go forward and do this storyline the way I would like them to do a storyline. Like full feet jumping straight into the air. Love it. I got nothing else to say because my brain is so video gamed right now. I just want to play a video game.
Good plan. Good plan. Yeah, no, appreciate it. What do you think? I feel like we've got our new party member-ish. I was gonna say newish. She is new. The party member is the part that's ish. But I feel like you specifically called some of the things that we would see with her. So what did you think about her appearance and the kind of stuff that she may be able to bring to the table?
I did not remember calling any of that.
As I recall, you were just like, either she will be like useless and that will be the problem, or she will be too good and that will be the problem.
Hilariously, she's both.
Yeah,
she's too underleveled to be useful, but her stats are stupid good if we could get her online. So she's Magikarp.
And I believe you also called the tank possibility. So
Yeah,
I think he did. Yeah.
yeah. Tank makes sense because they need someone who could just hold aggro. It can't be Carl. Like he gets in good damage, but he doesn't really take damage well. And Jesus, if something sneezes over towards Princess Caroline, she'll die.
I wonder if that would have been a better cat name, Princess Caroline.
It's the cat name from BoJack Horseman.
Okay.
It's Princess Donut. I know who she is. I read the book.
Everybody at home is like, he doesn't say any of the names right.
Actually, I do. It's just I was also trying to be funny all the time.
Those ghost heads are actually called Carusos. It's just a weird pronunciation.
It's funny because Donut often intentionally gets people's names wrong for the sake of comedy. So,
Oh yeah, Donut is her entire shtick is to like upset people.
Play
She
dumber
just-
than she actually is.
She's constantly playing dumber. The freaking all caps on your mental keyboard is on purpose.
it really just makes it so much worse that it clearly is on purpose because of the few times she does without it. Because no one else can see that. Like, it's
No.
only the people she's talking to.
What was the joke in the one scene where he was just like, you don't have to do all caps. It sounds like you're screaming. She's like, I am screaming, Carl.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked that we had a plot going again, where it seemed like there was an actual, story that we were following. That I enjoyed. I did get a little frustrated, though, with kind of the way they utilize Mordecai. Mostly because I really like Mordecai and I'd like to be in on some of kind of these conversations that he's having with them and giving them, like, obviously advice. But instead, it kind of seems like Mordecai's thrown in when the author doesn't know how to explain something. So it's, oh, hey, Mordecai told me this. Or, oh, hey, let me shoot like one sentence over to Mordecai and he'll give me one sentence back. So they're always constantly learning things from Mordecai. And like, there's conversations that are having off page somewhere that I think would be really interesting, but instead all we get is like this kind of almost, it feels like not really paid attention to comment that, oh, this happened. And you don't get to hear anything about it, but this happened. And I don't know. That happens quite a bit in these chapters. I mean, it's happened, I think I've said that before on different things, but it happened quite a bit in these few chapters where I noticed that there was just like a line from Mordecai. Oh, Mordecai said this. Or we got all this info from Mordecai, but we didn't actually get to find out how they got that info from Mordecai. So that's kind of frustrating to me. But overall, I think I really liked these chapters just because, again, there was more of a plot kind of going, which I find more interesting than just stumbling through trying to figure out random things or doing random things. And I had a lot of fun with the quest at the end, kind of not going where we kind of thought it was going, that something else deeper is happening there. So that was kind of fun. And, death to all Beanie Babies.
They all exploded.
So yeah.
I would say I'm okay with because the whole idea in this book is that Morty is the guy in the chair. He's like their operator, kind of feeding them information. I'm okay with them getting a lot of their information off screen as long as we still have conversations with Mordecai. And I feel like we've had more conversations in these 3 chapters with Mordecai than we've had all book, which I was glad to finally get because it felt like most of the other conversations that we had was just jokes about how he's getting drunk or
Yep.
about how he really does not like this current situation and how he needs to go off and find out some information. Now it feels like he's actually more present, which is what I was kind of wanting out of his character from the beginning. Because the idea is that he is a device. He's a storytelling device. He's there so that the characters have someone to ask information of someone and then get some sort of answer. I think what the author did early on in the book, though, was make it so that he wasn't the most reliable guide or source of information at first. And that was played for laughs. That was played for comedy. it made me kind of not like Morty for a little while. Of course, he was put into a situation that was not ideal for him, so he was a little salty about the whole thing. But now that we have the whole crew on board, and even Morty is like the guy in their ear, like feeding them like intel and shit, like it feels like everything has gotten way more cohesive in the last couple of chapters, which I really like.
And I was going to say, Jennifer's right in that there is a lot, like they're out there in these situations and they run into
So
something.
refer back to conversations that they've had that we probably should have known a little bit more about. No, I agree with that. I'm just glad that he's more present in general now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, and I do agree with that too, because I think it's just more that it feels like Mordecai's going to become a bigger part of this, and I'd like to see some of that relationship building. I think is really what
Yeah.
it is. I think, but I could say that about all of the characters because I think I feel that way with Donut too. Like at some point, I feel like there should be some relationship kind of growth there that never seems to happen, and it may happen in later books, and it's just I'm waiting for it to happen. And it
Yeah,
hasn't
if
happened
anything,
yet.
these last couple of chapters have pointed out to me is that I kind of wanted the whole book to be kind of like these chapters,
Mm.
where you had
Yeah, that's fair.
more inner. What's that?
I definitely agree.
Yeah, because it felt like the whole book was all about the tension that was building between all these characters. Like the Carl and Donut one, they were building quite a bit at times. Are they going to remain friends? Are they just going to be in this party together, but they don't necessarily like each other? We've already kind of quashed that already quietly, I guess, with the assassination attempt. But when it comes to Morty being kind of surly, that's kind of also gone away too for these chapters. And I kind of like everyone just being on the same side. There was it felt like drama for the drama's sake for a lot of the book. And now that we have all these characters just interacting and talking to one another, and like you actually get a feel for their personalities a little bit more, especially Mordecai. His personality really needed some more development. And now I was kind of wishing that this was what the whole book was like. And now I'm a little afraid that the end of this book is going to blow up this whole thing that we have going right now, and then the whole next book is going to be something completely different. Because this is kind of what I want. I kind of want it to be like this, for like this tone and this level of involvement.
To feel thought
Yeah.
out.
Well,
Yeah. And I feel like we get a lot of chapters where it doesn't really feel thought out. It feels like we're just kind of meandering around with no clue of
Yeah.
what we're doing or what's
Which,
going on, which, I mean, to a sense we are. I mean, that's kind of their thing. But at the same time, then we make giant jumps like we learned how to do this dynamite thing that we didn't really know how we learned how to do it, but we just learned
yeah.
how to do it. And there was no kind
It's
of lead
it's
up
it's
to
kind
it. I
of
don't
it's
know.
kind of like how Guillermo del Toro does stories, where it's like the characters themselves are allowed to be a little bit aimless, but you need to feel like the overall story is being guided in a certain way. And the story has felt a little bit haphazard. This murder mystery that we got caught up in, that was treated as a little bit of a nuisance at first, like this is like by the characters, which, you know, that was played for laughs. But I really feel like we finally kind of hit the stride with the storytelling in the book, because we finally have a focus. It's like we finally have something that everyone's on board to do, which sounds obvious to do that, but it has not been an obvious thing for these books to do so far.
yeah, and I think that there's some growth as an author happening, and also just I will say that starting in book 3, you get the impression that the whole book was thought out as a book more than you do in these
Yes.
first 2 that were published chapter at a time, you know, as somebody publishing a story online. So there, you definitely start seeing more all around thought into the contents of a single book in the next one. But anyway, I won't spoil too much there. But it's kind of funny to me that, because Jennifer was saying Mordecai's doing this thing where they'll be out in the middle of a thing and Carl's like, "Hey, what's this?" And Mordecai responds with a quick sentence that's like, "Oh, this is what that is." And she's like, she's not feeling that that's like a deep relationship that they're having. And it was funny to me because Mike a few episodes ago had specifically said, like, I want Mordecai to be doing that, to be the guy in the chair, as you said here, that you can call and be like, "Hey, what's this thing?" and get information, reliable information from. And so it's we kind of got two sides of that here, where I can see Jennifer's point, because the book deals a lot with explaining things, with I keep wanting to say exhibition. That's not the word I'm looking for. With
tutorializing, quite a bit of tutorializing constantly, which is okay. Yeah.
It's having to tell, because everything is new, and it's having to explain this stuff to us, and you get explanations from the AI when it says, like, here's the monster, and here's several paragraphs about this monster that you get by looking at it. And you get explanations from Mordecai about stuff that the AI is not telling you. There is a lot of exposition. That's the word that I'm looking for, that it just jumped out of my brain. There's a lot of exposition, and now it feels like we're getting like several different kinds of exposition, and I can understand how that starts to wear after a while. We're like, okay, yeah, you're explaining constantly.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily the guy in the chair part. That I'm okay with, but like as an example, and I think it was the middle chapter we read today, there was a whole passage about how Mordecai had figured out what the mysterious letter really was. And it goes on to explain like what it is. But that wasn't them talking to Mordecai and getting that. That was just like a paragraph that says, oh, Mordecai figured this out. And we're not talking to Mordecai. We don't know how he figured it out other than like the paragraph they wrote about it. There's just like this random paragraph that said, hey, Mordecai figured this out at some point. We don't even know when. And this is what this mysterious letter is. And I think it's that kind of thing that is kind of frustrating to me. I mean, I get the man in the chair and I'm totally fine with that. We're in the middle of a battle. We're fighting some new monster that we don't know what it is, and we need to know a weakness so we can call Mordecai and get that quick info. And I think that makes sense. It's just this kind of thing where it feels like he didn't know how to explain this. So instead of finding a way to kind of make it into the story, it's just this random paragraph of explanation that probably could have been done.
It's also a mystery that was taken away from everybody. Because I remember the scrap of paper and the blood and the what does it mean? And then just, you just have to wait a minute, and then it's like, oh, this is what it was.
It's very tell, don't show.
Yeah.
That's like the definition of tell, don't show.
They could have put in more hints so that we could figure out the mystery. You're right. They don't really give us anything to use to figure out the mystery, except for the fact that body lands 5 seconds after they're talking while they have that letter out, which maybe should have been a big hint that we didn't pick up on at the time. But
from a writing standpoint, I understood him wanting to put the explanation in a scene already in progress and an action sequence already in progress, so that you didn't have the explanation in a different scene than the scene where it was going to be useful. But it feels like
I really had forgotten about this completely until this like one passage, and I was like, oh, that was a thing. Okay.
I remembered the message carved into the body that hit the roof, but I forgot that the envelope was involved in that. And I mean, that's not the writing's fault. That's just, how the nature of how we read these things. Like we reread these things like weeks apart. So we didn't remember about the envelope, but I agree totally with Jen that like the explanation for it would have been great. And Tim was right. Like you took that mystery away from the audience to be able to make an assumption or a hypothesis on what was happening there. And you really could have had the envelope happen earlier in the book, and then it just be like this mystery that keeps coming up where it's like, what's the point of this thing? And then you take it out every so often, and then something bad happens every time you take it out.
Yeah, if it happened more than once at least, it would have been a bigger hint.
Yeah, because then you could have been giving more information to the audience where it's like every time we take it out, it's like something bad happens to us. And it's like, well, what does that tell you? It tells you something knows where you are when you take it out, and then you make it clear that something can hear what it is that you're saying, which the message carved into the body made that point towards the end where it's like, you could have messaged that a little bit earlier in the story, and that was kind of a failure of the writing. Although I will not say I feel like the book is badly written. That particular thing, she's right. It was not set up or paid off properly.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I'm not saying it's badly written. I'm still really enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying it. That's just, if I'm being critical, something.
We're all still enjoying the books. Like we're just here to review and be critical, but I feel like if anybody at home thinks that like we're reading these just to shit on them, I don't hate, read, or watch things in order to shit on them. I will shit on things that I think that I don't like, but I don't tend to read or watch things that I am fairly certain I'm not going to like, and I've enjoyed this book so far.
it also goes back to kind of what Mike has called out multiple times is the author's favorite trick of we're going to flash back to a conversation with important information that happened a while ago that we skipped over at the time. So that it was definitely one of those that we've seen a few times. But let's get into these chapters then. We're still on the set of Ripper Wonton's, or the danger zone with Ripper Wonton when we come back into these chapters.
Making us all want Chinese food again.
Exactly. And the show ends with a video of Manasseh, the now deceased Cobra lady, singing, and she's just a really great singer. Carl and Donut are understanding why her new single was number 8 in the universe or whatever. And Zev messages them she's going to meet them back in the safe room. We're going to talk. And then Carl says, so I'm really glad that Carl picked up on some of this because it was bugging me the first time I read it. But he starts messaging Donut like, look, don't say any of this stuff out loud. But we were set up. First off, Stalwart was way too prepared with that statement. He had a camera ready with an army marching outside the window in the background. Like, he was planning this before I ever said anything.
There's also the fact that there was a ship in orbit right above the trailers. Like, they knew exactly where they were. They knew exactly where to be. Like, it was a hit. It was a planned hit.
But not only that, Carl thinks that Stalwart was being played as well. That somebody knew about the switch between the trailers and got them to intentionally murder like an important member of an ally race to like start something between the Skull Empire and the Valte. And Carl's like, who would benefit from that? And I love Donut's answers. Manasseh had the voice of an angel. Nobody benefits from that. And Carl's like, no, think about it. Borant benefits. Because if the Valte lose this powerful ally and go to war, then they don't have as much time to try to collect the debt from Borant. And Donut's like, okay, maybe. Or maybe we just got super lucky and nobody else was involved. So both possible explanations. When I first read it, I was like, that guy had that statement prepared way too quickly to like, he murdered them within like 2 minutes of Carl saying this stuff. And then was like, I killed them because Carl said these things. I was like, no, I don't buy it. And so I'm glad that Carl also was suspicious of this.
Carl's got a lot of guile. He's clever. He's able to pick up on these things really quick, which I've been enjoying.
Yeah, I like it when Carl's smart and not dumb. It's always preferable.
Yeah.
It's always good when your main character has a brain of some sort.
Think about things or explosive devices before you throw them, as will be evident soon.
I knew that was going to come back out. It's like, maybe don't throw explosives in the dark, Carl.
You know, if I were to say what his intelligence level, I would say probably O'Connell from the Mummy. Probably about that level of intelligence. Like,
oh yeah, he's
good in dangerous situations, but every so often there's just going to be a moment where it's just like, I think I'll just set off the dynamite here and keep it in my inventory. That feels like an O'Connell thing.
A little bit reckless. Yeah, no, I get that. I was trying to think like who. I almost said like Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones is a professor in his downtime, and I'm like, that doesn't feel like Carl to me. So.
If anything, Morty feels like an elderly Indy a little bit. His adventuring days are over, but he's like really knowledgeable about all this shit.
Yeah, I could see that.
I would love if you had like a series where there was like a younger adventurer and you just had this hard drinking Indy, like, I don't know, kid, it's Sumerian. I'm heading to the bar.
I mean, that's kind of what they were trying to set up with Shia LaBeouf. So that he could step in and be the Indiana Jones, and then
he
could
boofed
be the old man at home.
Didn't he?
But yeah, no, it just there was lots of things wrong with that movie. He was not the only problem. So,
and now he was at Mardi Gras, probably boofing something. Anyway,
and I love that when they get back and Zev's like, "Oh my gosh, that was terrifying! I thought you were dead." And Mordecai's over like, "What happened?" Like he doesn't get to watch TV. And Donut goes to explain to him, but in Donut style, it says, where she starts out with a long, extremely detailed explanation of the cleaning thing in the trailer.
I just love that Mongo tried to get back on the thing.
Oh yeah, like after being so scared of it, he's like, oh no, I'm into this now.
Clean me.
And Zev explains that, like, yeah, trailer bookings have never been a secret. There's never been a need to keep them secret before today. Carl, you are managing to antagonize people like no one ever before.
There you go. Claim to fame.
It's like if some Saudi prince came by and like took out the guy on The Bachelor or some shit. Like it's like incredibly petty what just happened. But then he accidentally killed Celine Dion because she happened to be there.
Okay, that's actually a really good simile that you just made. I'm like, no, yeah, that all kind of fits. Except you have to explain why, like, the guy on The Bachelor has like a sex tape out with that Saudi prince that turns out to be a deep fake. But
hey, some people
happens.
Some people get around, you know. But the thing I'm wondering is if while Celine Dion's boat went down, if she sang "My Heart Will Go On." That's what I really want. Like, where is the necklace? Is it at the bottom of the ocean?
it wasn't at the bottom of the ocean, but then it was.
But then it was.
Yeah.
Does
There
The
was no-
Bachelor also think ChatGPT is like in love with him or something?
It loves his feet. It doesn't love him.
Yeah. We're doing a
I mean,
gritty reboot of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
We're doing a realistic reboot.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less gritty, honestly, than the like horror of this. But yeah, okay. It's like you go from like Murder Ball to The Bachelor. Like,
Yeah.
that's the opposite of grit.
No,
So-
that's horror. That's horrowing.
I mean, they already cast Glenn Powell in the Running Man movie. Well, I guess they'll put Glenn Powell in this too.
I didn't see The Running Man, the new one. Was it
It
any
was
good?
really decent. It was actually really
Yeah.
decent. They changed the ending from the book, and even Stephen King was like, "Yeah, that's better."
Wow, that's impressive. Okay.
Not
it's
really.
not.
Stephen King, admittedly, he has bad endings. Like he
He
knows he
does.
has bad endings.
I don't read Stephen King.
And the Running Man book ends with a 9/11, so you can't really do the ending for Running Man because your
okay.
protagonist crashes a plane into an office building. Like,
I'm not going to spoil the ending of the movie, but it's good.
It's not that.
But,
it's not 9/11.
I will say though that the tone and the visual language of the movie really fits Dungeon Carl. I actually think Edgar Wright would be perfect to adapt it. Supposedly, what is it? Seth MacFarlane is.
Yeah, they're doing a TV
Is
show.
adapting?
Seth MacFarlane's company.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's an animation. I don't know if this would work in live action. I kind of don't want it to be live action. I don't know how they would do this, but
I mean,
yeah,
he did the Orville, which is supposed to be really excellent. So I mean, maybe.
Yeah. No, the Orville was really good. It's better Star Trek than modern Star Trek, and I'll die on that hill. But
It says it's going to be live action.
okay. But anybody who is a fan of this book, the newer Running Man movie is actually really close to the tone of the. It's actually kind of the same message too. The main character is very Carl coded. And I'm wondering if Edgar is a fan of these books because it felt like sometimes there were lines that could have entirely been like Carl's rants about the government running this thing. So it's a good movie. Go check that out.
I might have to. I saw the new one coming out, and I'm like, as silly as it is, I've always been a fan of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man. It's just it's like a silly, fun action thing.
Well, that's the thing. This one is silly fun too, and like I said, it's like the tone of this, where like it'll go real cartoony, and then it'll go real fucking dark, like real quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
you've piqued my interest. I kind of just assumed that a modern remake like wouldn't be that sort of tone, that they were going to be more serious with it. So,
well, you got to remember it's Edgar Wright too.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was Edgar Wright. So, yeah, knowing that changes things. I don't pay enough attention to
everybody listening at home. You can turn this off and pause it, and you can go watch Running Man.
Then you'll be ahead of me. And so we find out that Mordecai told them before they went on the show, like, needle at like the King Rust and the Skull Empire a bit, like, and he's like, I said be subtle. I didn't say like murder his wife. Like, what the fuck, dude, guys? And so and Zev is like, hey, at least The good news is, on social media, everyone is on Carl and Donut's side. Prince Stalwart is the villain. It's like, well, thank you, Zev, for putting all our minds at ease about that. And
how can the public not be on their side? They're adorable. They're adorable little terrorists.
Look how fluffy she is. And we get confirmed the next one will be the next interview will be between floors, back with Odette again. She has first right of refusal.
I also have to remind myself sometimes that through all of these conversations, he is always in his underwear. I have to always put myself because no matter how serious the conversation gets, I'm like, wow, this is getting really tense. And then I'm just like, this is a guy talking to a cat in his underwear. Like every so often, I have to put that mental image in my head. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, this conversation is a cat, a fish person, a devil, technically
an incubus.
An incubus, yeah. And
There
then
should be some illustrated versions of these books.
a dude
That would be
in heart boxers with like a like cheap Batman cape. So yeah, I agree that there's been a lot of illustrations that they've been releasing for the upcoming RPG, and there's some very fun illustrations of various things. One of the things that they've had fun with is doing illustrations of Mordecai because every floor he's like a different species, and they're like, should we put out like this other Mordecai drawing? And everyone's like, well, yeah, duh.
You got it.
We all want to see
the
that.
point. It's the point of having him like that.
The crazy one for me is not the underwear. The one that I have to always remind myself of is Donut is a Persian cat.
She is a tortoiseshell Persian cat. Yes, it is a look.
Wearing a tiara and armor on her butt.
I never imagine as a tortoiseshell Persian cat. It's just always like just a fucking cat.
It's just a fluffy cat.
Just any regular old cat. I don't know. Every time I actually see what a Persian looks like, I'm just like, ew.
They did a webtoons like illustrated version of at least the first book. I don't know if they're into the second book yet, but in that, like, Donut is a very fluffy white cat, and so that is like the image I have of her, despite the fact that I know that's inaccurate.
Well, that's fine. The live action will probably change everything anyway.
Almost certainly.
Does it have to be a cat? Could it be a fish?
Here's a great illustration of Donut, even though I don't think this looks very turtle shell even, but from the upcoming RPG. Let me copy and paste into our chat.
Let us look upon.
Looking exactly how she looks with her purple tiara and her armor.
It looked very tortoise-shelly there.
No, not at all. She's just brown in that picture.
Yeah, I was like, I imagine Dumb Cat when I imagine tortoise-shell. Of course, Dumb Cat has no brain, so...
Yeah, one of our cats is kind of tortoise-shelly, and she's an idiot, so yeah.
Yeah.
She gets called Dumb Cat.
They are kind of derpy looking at times, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, sorry. I was trying to find another Mordecai picture, but I don't need to spend too much time digging into that. Mordecai's just like, okay, new rule. From now on, we don't talk about shit outside the dungeon. If you go on a show and they ask you, just be like, I have no opinion. I talk about what's happening in the dungeon. I don't need to piss off any more major powers. And Donut's over here like, talking smack is my special talent, Mordecai. And I love Carl's just like, why? Like, what can he do to us here? And Mordecai's like, besides assassinating you while you're on the surface? Nothing yet, but that's going to change. So maybe listen to what I'm telling you.
Good safety tip. Thank you, Mordecai.
Yeah, exactly. And then we go, and it's time to check out the 201st Security Group and see what's their role in all of this. And fortunately, the place that they hang out is easy to find. The Apido Education Center, also labeled on the map as a corrupt temple, which means there can be mobs inside. And there's like city elves just standing outside trying to hand, like in my mind, they're just handing out like pamphlets about our Lord and Savior Apido. But no, it says they're trying to hand out sticks. The sticks with the acorn on the end of it.
I don't know how many people you can get to join where it's like, would you like to can we tell you more about the Pedo Center? The what?
So many rich people, actually.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that tracks.
Oh, I was not sure what you were saying there, and it took me a minute to get where we were going. Okay,
That's
yeah.
that's how my humor works. Is that you know you'll have to think about it for a while, and then later on you'll be like, oh, Mike's kind of funny sometimes. You know, that's
Oh, that
Oh.
sucks, actually.
yeah. All right, I'll stop.
So many listeners, I'm sure you've experienced it. You're like 2 days later, you're just like, oh, that was kind of funny. Yeah.
He buried
Okay.
that joke like 6 levels down into references to things. That's stupid. Why would you do that?
Oh, uh, we also see we come up with a bunch of dwarf children playing, and one of them has a salamander tied to the end of a stick, and then Mongo eats the salamander. And I love Donut's like, Mongo, gross, stop eating stuff you find on the ground. And then he like hacks it back up.
Just
But
dead as a doornail.
yep. Then
I was
the city elves,
kind of hoping that the salamander was still alive, just like freaked out.
the salamander will come back for revenge on Mongo. That's what we really need.
He needs a rival. We need this
I
storyline.
kept waiting for
progress.
that salamander to be like poisonous or something. I'm like, why is he making Mongo so sick? Of course, Mongo's dumb enough to eat him twice, but that's a whole different thing.
Well, he is dog coated, so he's just like, oh man, I'm glad I vomited that up. But that vomit's looking real tasty.
Yummy.
Yeah. Once again, you're right. Mongo dog coated at every turn. But then the city elves come by and they're like, hello, Carl, and then turn to Donut, disgusting, vile blasphemer. So instantly, it's like, oh, they have a problem with Donut, and Donut's just like, what did I do? Jeez.
Yeah, some people don't like cats.
And these elves are named things like Salvatore and Carmine, which I'm getting like Batman Mafia family.
Oh
off
my
of that.
god, yeah. I didn't
And
even think
they're
of that. Yeah. That's interesting.
And they say, the master told us the oak fell and their rotting assistants would come soon to the city and the final battle for heaven would commence. And this is where Carl be like, Mordecai, what is an oak fell? It's like, basically.
Which very valid question.
Yeah. It's like, basically that's Apito's version of the Antichrist. You don't really get into this stuff until the 12th floor. I don't know what.
Don't you hate it when evangelical elves just start telling you like all about their fucking religion and you're just like, come on, dude. Like, I need to get to work.
Put the burger in the bag.
Yeah, I don't need to hear about these. I wanted a Whopper. This is
Hold the mustard.
you know.
Well, and then they reveal that they tortured and killed Gum Gum, which we didn't even know her that well, but that's fucked up.
Not
real fucked
Gum Gum.
No, she was our. Who was that again? Oh, right. No, not Gum Gum.
You defeated our champion, Vincente. He trained his entire life for the battle.
Poor Vincente.
When you guys
Now
get
you-
to hell, tell him I said he died like a bitch.
So there used to be 12 of these guys in town. Now there's just 9 because we've killed 3 of them. But it's going to be 9-on-2 for this fight.
Oh
3
no!
if you count Mongo.
Oh no! And their champion was so difficult to kill.
And then Carl starts to realize from some of the reactions they have that, like, oh, they're mad about Donut's anklet specifically, the enchanted anklet of the fallen oak. Like, he tells her, like, shake your left rear leg at them.
Oh, you like this? It's made out of the cross that they nailed Jesus to. How dare
And-
you?
Carl just remembers that the description was all about why he should not wear it because the AI was like, no, like anklets don't make feet look better like toe rings do. They're too gaudy. So the actual description, if it hadn't been for that, might have been more useful information for this. But
They don't like it because every early 2000s girl had one.
and so Carl's like, let me get this straight. Because Donut here has that anklet. You think that she's this Oakfell Antichrist person. And Donut's like, I told you wood jewelry is ugly, Carl. And then they get magical fervor, and Carl has to be like, Mordecai, magical fervor. He's like, yeah, that triples their mana points and increases their strength and also makes them glow and stuff. Like, shit, okay.
You name your cat Antichrist? I just named mine Mustard.
Food, cat names, we've talked about before. Donut has that, yeah, and popular. In fact, I think mustard specifically came up in a previous episode.
Correct. I tried to name a cat Mustard, and no one would agree.
Except me.
And just before everything kicks off, here comes this pregnant female dwarf with a rolling pin and starts beating the shit out of these guys. Like, because they threw a rock at her boy, which, to be fair, they did after he was like throwing things at them. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, the kid was being a dick. So I was just like, I know these are proud boy elves and everything, but kid, you don't just start throwing lizard sticks at people.
and the kid's like, "Where's Benjamin? He wants his pet salamander back."
My dog ate him. My scaly 8-foot dog ate him.
But after this sort of fight breaks out where she's smashing these guys, here come the swordsman guards. And Carl's like, "Look, I get that nobody is innocent here. Like, the elves are assholes. The kid was being an asshole. But this is like a pregnant lady, and these swordsmen are going to murder her and the kid because they're part of this fight."
As soon as I saw that, like, the pregnant woman was in danger, I was just like, Carl, don't you fucking dare
Yep.
go toe-to-toe with these guys. Because if it's anything like video game guards for cities, they're like, don't attack the guards. Don't attack. They're god tier level. God damn it, Carl. Like, I felt it coming.
One of the elves hits Eunice the dwarf with an ice spell, which creates a health bar on her and a second smaller health bar above her stomach.
That was
just
a funny
to drive
touch.
the point home.
Yeah, that was a funny touch. Oh no, the baby.
And then Mongo hacks the salamander up, and Ricky Joe, the dwarf child, is like, "Benjamin, no!" And so yeah, the fight starts to break out, and Carl has to attack one of the swordsmen to save these other people. And it's like, it was like I punched the side of a Sherman tank. I left an impression in the metal, but a health bar didn't even appear. Like, they're just... And so now guards will attack them on sight in this settlement.
First of all, who's punching a Sherman tank and leaving an imprint?
I mean,
Carl,
he's got
apparently.
the big metal gauntlet thing and the strength of 10 humans or something.
Yeah,
So, you know.
yeah, but that doesn't work. That's like punching a car or like a Dodge Ram.
I was about to say, at this point, cars are made of so much like fiberglass and plastic that I could probably punch one and leave a mark if I really tried.
All right, yeah, that's true. That's not how they were when we were kids.
No. And then I love the note that young Ricky Joe decided to also enter the Idiot of the Day contest. And he tries to hit Mongo for killing his best friend. And Mongo bites his arm off.
Fair.
Fair. That was fair.
I mean,
That actually got a
I
life
agree.
out of me. That got a laugh out of
I
me.
know. I laugh about and then imagining the spurting out. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did.
It's because dickish kids getting hurt in fiction is just funny. Not in real life, but it's funny in fiction.
True.
Jennifer says the spurting.
I
And
live vicariously.
it makes me think of like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where it's just like...
Yes, that was what I was picturing. Because it's amazing.
And then they have to run. They have to use her puddle jumper spell to escape. And Donut's like, "Are we taking the kid?" Like, Donut is perfectly fine leaving this kid here with no arm to be like murdered by the guardsmen or whatever.
Just screaming bloody murder as he bleeds out.
I mean, I kind of was too. I'm just saying.
But no,
This kid wasn't winning any awards for being like a great kid.
I love how Jen is just like, why don't you just leave him to die?
Freaking kids.
This
Kind
fucking
of deserved it.
And then when they get away, the chapter ends with the kid looking at Mongo like, "Give me my arm back." And Mongo obliged.
I laughed so hard at the end of that chapter.
And I love him crying. It's just like, what do you mean you can't reattach my fucking arm?
Oh man, yep, it's great. And then the guards go away at night. We were told that when we first came to town. So once it gets dark and the guards head off to recharge or whatever they do, they can come back down.
Yeah, once they clock out, they were like, it's okay. We'll kill that guy in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. And then the kid hears something from his house and he's like, "Oh, okay, I gotta go. That's my mom's going into labor and I'm supposed to hold the left leg or whatever." All right.
And then
Dude,
it's like,
whatever.
does she
He
pop?
assigned a very specific body part.
Yeah, does she pop out a kid like every day? Is that a thing?
No, right?
Like, what
She's
the hell?
an
Kind of
NPC.
sounded like it.
That's what
She
she's
is an
done. She's the
NPC.
pregnant one.
That's why it's okay for this kid to go, because she's gonna make a replacement like any fucking time now. So she can stand to lose a couple kids.
He does give us some valuable information that a lady visits the pedo center every night, some skyfowl lady, and also other women, all sorts of dwarves, humans. They just show up all day long. You never recognize any of them, and they're dressed like they're about to go to the Desperado Club. Bubba Lane says it's because women are stupid. My mama slaps him around some when he says that, and then pinches his ear until he apologizes. Then she makes us all line up and call him stupid. He doesn't like that much. This family, man.
I think I'm okay with this family just kicking it, like like what the fuck? They don't sound like a good bunch.
And also, I love that when they come back down, the kid belly flops, and Carl's like, "You're fine, walk it off."
Now that got a laugh out of me. I accidentally dropped him 10 feet. He's fine. His health bar went down a little. He's okay.
He was okay. He just bounced. He's like a rubber ball.
I love there's this very visible indicator of exactly how much a kid gets hurt. And you're like, nah, that barely ticked over.
That's fine. Just rub some dirt in it. You'll be all right.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Walk it off.
then
Coach, I lost my arm. Shake it off.
Shake it off. Yeah, walk it off. Get a drink of water. Get back out there. We get a brief note that Carl stops by the Silk Road to pick up 3 boxes of impact detonated hoblobbers. Spends most of their remaining money. But then they go to meet Hekla's friend. Katya Grimm is her name, which is, I like that name, actually. She looks real weird. He says that it says human over her head, but Carl's like, she's clearly not one. And she's level 9, while Carl is like 20. No, he's like 19. He goes up to like 21 later in this section, but he's 19 now.
Carl, when you walk up to an ugly person, you don't immediately just start asking, are you human?
What are you?
What are you? What are you?
Animal, fruit, or mineral?
It did seem a little bit mean to me, but at the same time, we're in the dungeon where
we're in a
picked
universe where
different
that's a
races, so-
valid question.
You do that to NPCs. You don't do that to players.
Also, her class is Monster Truck Driver, which was such a name. We find out later, like Mordecai explains, it is like the Juggernaut class where your constitution goes up the faster you're moving, which I feel like is very cool.
And here I was wondering
I
if
do.
it was a play on words and she's just a regular truck driver. She just herself happens to be a monster. She is the monster truck driver.
I hadn't thought of that, but that would totally make sense.
I thought the same thing was going to happen. And then it's just Juggernaut from X3.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Which is not how Juggernaut in the comics works. Very different power set. But this is the one from the movie.
He's also not a mutant.
Yeah, Juggernaut in the comics has like a magic crystal
Yeah.
that gives him powers. So I can see why in the X-Men movies you wouldn't go for that after establishing all the mutant stuff.
Correct. And then it was like once he gets moving, you can't stop him. It's not Juggernaut's power. He's just unstoppable. It's not about moving.
I like Mordecai notes, if we can train her up, she'd be a good addition to the team, maybe good enough to poach her from Hekla. But she's real far behind, probably too far behind. And she says her game guide talked her into picking this class, but also her game guide is not real helpful. And she is a Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it felt like she was like a joke character. Like they just trained her wrong on purpose or something.
She's
I was
the
just
shy
like,
one. Turn into a worm or something.
yeah, would you still love me if I was a doppel?
I think one of the problems is Hekla has a fairly large party. Like there's a lot of women in that party, we were told. And so getting a lot of experience, getting good gear and stuff is probably hard for any individual person in that group.
That whole situation just seems really weird, though. Like, there has to be more to this, right? Like, why was she off by herself somewhere?
Well,
she had to have been close at some point to be in the same group.
yeah, but when they moved down to the 3rd floor, it was explained that like you only ended up with people who you like came into the dungeon with, basically. If you joined a party later on, you got split up because you go to wherever your game guide was, and the game you only got the same game guide if you walked into the same training guild with each other when you showed up. So a lot of people got split up when we came down to the third floor.
Oh,
That
okay.
makes a little bit more sense. I think I missed that because I was like, I don't understand. Like, why is she over here all by herself and everybody else seems to be somewhere
And
else?
she's so underleveled because she's had to like hide and not do anything for the whole time she's been on this. Okay, so that makes a
That's
little
why
bit more sense.
That's why Carl and Donut ended up nowhere near like the old folks home people,
She
because they were in a different party and different guide.
she seems sweet, and Carl was really nice to her, and it would be nice if the party kind of adopts her, because a thing that I don't know if this is a thing going forward, but I'm making this uh, assertion now. It seems like at the end of every book we get a new addition to the party.
Oh, because we got Mongo. You're right.
Yeah, at the beginning of at the end of the first book, and we're towards the end of this book, so maybe she officially becomes the party member 4. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's hard to call it a pattern after one book, but after two, maybe. Yeah, okay.
I mean, we got introduced to a new character that could possibly in it at the very end, so
Right.
that's my predictions are not based off of intelligence, just intuition.
Vibes.
Vibes. The vibes told me.
Katya is a doppelganger, which he explains means that anything she has, like all of her gear and stuff, just goes to her body mass, and she can shape that mass into any shape that she can. She has to actually shape it. She can't just be like, I want to look like this and look like that. She has to do it herself, and she's not very good at it. But Mordecai says he's going to work with her, so she can change into anything. At least the way that he describes it.
She's Juggernaut Clayface.
Yeah, like very Clayface.
Yeah, I kept imagining Clayface too. I was like, oh, she's Clayface.
She's
Hey.
trying her best, and that's all I get off of Katya, is that she's just trying her best.
All right, now Ron Perlman has to play her in the show.
I was thinking Alan Tudyk because he was the most recent Clayface in the animated shows. But
True.
Yeah, that's right.
It says that she's a human because that's what she's trying to look like, but it'll say she's whatever she's trying to look like if she does a good enough job. She's like, before Mordecai helped me, it said my race was what the fuck, which seems kind of mean, but
That's really mean.
I laughed though.
This is the tank this party would get.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
And also, she doesn't have a mirror to try to like look at what she looks like. She's been using a potion bottle.
That was the saddest part. She
I
didn't
know.
have
I
a
was like, how
mirror.
could you not find something along this way that would have been a mirror? Like, I feel like, because I mean, even Carl had broken something that could be used as a mirror and ends up giving it to her. But I mean, you couldn't find anything
But
Her
that's the
party
thing.
doesn't
could
like
be used
her.
as a mirror.
Yeah, it's very clear that she's just like the not favorite
Oh,
in her
that
party.
makes sense.
So she was not even given like hand me down. She was just ignored. And
Yeah.
the thing with Carl, to his credit, is that he just picks up everything, and he picks up trash. Like that piece of the mirror was trash, and he's like, "Oh, well, here you go." And he just freely gives it to her. And she really doesn't seem like she's had any kind of kindness like that from her previous party, which made me
Which makes us think about Helka a little bit, like
yeah.
what you really like.
Yeah, and it made Carl endeared to me even more, and it made her endeared to me because I'm just like she finally has someone being nice to her and helping her, and I'm just like, I want you guys to adopt her so bad now because she's so sweet.
Like a little stray puppy.
Yeah, a little pet doppelganger.
I was thinking, like, did you not have your cell phone on you or something that you could have used as a mirror when you got in here? Because, I mean, I understand why Carl didn't, but as she finally looks at herself, and she's like, holy crap. Like, once he gives her that piece of mirror from the gym way back when, I look like a Juan Gris painting. And Carl's like, I don't know who that is, but okay. Because
He
we
must
find out
suck at faces.
she's an art teacher, so here's a Juan Gris painting to share with you guys.
And I love that she was like so self-deprecating because he was like, "You're an art teacher." And she's like, "Well, people who can't do it, teach. And I was just like, oh my God, you're precious. I hope we fucking adopt you so bad.
She has humility and stuff. We could use that in a female character, given Donut is our female character.
Yeah,
Right?
gotta level that out of it.
Well, this is also a character who seems like she's just been abused by her previous party.
But she has crazy constitution. Once she joins the party, we find out she has 51 constitution, but 11 strength and 8 intelligence and charisma. Like, her other stats are not great. Also, we get a brief look at the guy with the crocodile head on the recap show, who has now hooked up with someone else who Carl says looks familiar, but he can't place him. And they jump off a burning building together while being chased by insects. And I was like, okay, there's an action movie happening in the background. I want to know what's going on there.
That's what happens in the book sometimes. Hey, there's a bunch of action that happened. You don't got to see it. Don't worry about it.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
not super important.
Mordecai explains why having the super high constitution but low strength is not necessarily a good thing. He's like, yeah, we fought these little wombat things once that had their constitution were so high they could take a celestial warhammer to the face, but also you could just pick them up and shove them in a bucket of water till they drowned because they were not strong. So they communicate with Hecla through Katya, who says like, hey, can you guys let her join your party for a while, help her level up some? Like, yeah, okay, we can do that. She explains a couple other things she can do. She has a second fuel tank, which absorbs damage and reflects it back, that triggers randomly, and a rush ability where she can use her body as a battering ram. Also, the Pathfinder skill, which everyone kept telling them was super valuable and they should get on their team. So that's nice.
I love that they looked at each other when she told her that she had it, and I'm just like, oh, they're like, hey, she's useful for something.
This just upped how much we want to poach her from this other team. Which, given that apparently Hecla was the second person in the dungeon to reach level 25, she's maybe like one of the strongest people. Maybe you don't want to piss her off by trying to steal people from her team, but I don't know.
Oh,
Also,
or it's a situation where they were like, how do we convince her to let her go? And she's like, oh, her? Oh, we don't give a shit about her. You can take her.
Right?
Yeah.
maybe.
And it kind of seemed like that.
I
They're
feel
like,
that
I think it's a good idea you take her.
It's gonna be mean.
And also,
Oh,
her Earth hobby potion gave her the gearhead skill, so she can fix engines, which is much more straightforward than either of the skills our people got. Oh, and then the recap, I'd forgotten about the recap is stoking a feud between Donut and Lucia Mar's two dogs, Cece and
Yes.
Gustavo 3.
Ever since she had that
Which that was so
drunken rant,
ridiculous.
ever since that drunken rant, it's been following her.
And they showed like Lucia Mar goes on this show, and the people on the show her the clip of Donut being like, fucking Rottweilers think they're so smart. And they're like, oh, hey, yeah. And Lucia Mar's just like, I'm going to find them in the dungeon, and my dogs will rip that puta apart, and I will kill Carl and steal all of his shiny toys. It's like, okay, wow. And you guys were just talking about last time. Like, I can't wait to meet this person. It seems like that might not go well now.
No, that'll go well. I want to see a fight.
I feel like that's been being set up since the beginning. So
Dogs.
Well, and I
versus
think
cat.
at some point in time, you have to wonder if some of these other people will kind of realize how the system's playing them.
Uh-huh.
And maybe they're playing it too. And when we meet up with them, maybe they're playing it as much as we're playing it, and it doesn't play out exactly the way the AI wants it to.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Anybody like with some brains is probably picking up on some of that. You're right.
she is a child too, so I don't know that necessarily fits her criteria.
Also true. And Mordecai.
Which, I mean, that's a whole different messed up fact right there. But
Oh my gosh, yeah, it is. Mordecai and Carl are both like, oh crap, they're gonna like. Carl's like, they're gonna like try to bring us together on the show somehow, right? And Mordecai's like, yeah, duh, but they'll want some build up first.
so it's not happening this book, y'all.
No.
And so they're going to finish off this quest tonight, and then the plan is to spend the rest of the floor grinding, get Katya's levels up some. And then Mordecai sends a message to Carl. Try to keep her alive, but if she does die, get those rings. Because she's got like the plus 15 to Constitution ring, which Donut desperately could use. And Carl's just like,
fucked up.
Carl's like, that's cold, man.
I mean, I don't disagree, but still fucked up.
Yeah. And so they go out, Carl and Donut. Katya is left behind, maybe still working with Mordecai on improving her shape-shifting. And they have a plan that we are not let in on until we get into the middle of the plan, where we do the flashback to Mordecai they're telling Mordecai, whoever did left this message on the body was listening to us, because they dropped this within moments of us saying this. And Mordecai's like, they can't have. You were in the safe room. Tell me exactly what happened. And then when they do, he's like, oh shit. That's what this letter thing is. Don't take it out of your inventory. It's like this separating eye spell that liches like to use. You don't often see it in scroll form, but it basically lets them hear through spilled bodily fluids.
Which was a really cool device. But
Yeah.
but like Jen was saying earlier, we really could have used a little bit more of a lead up or an explanation, not just
If they had
someone-
foreshadowed the
They just dumped
existence
it.
of that kind of spell even before this, you know?
Something.
Old man
Some
Mordecai
tidbit.
told us what this would do.
Even if it had been a common D&D thing that liches in D&D do, then you could have been oh well, a certain subset of the audience would have seen this coming, but it's not. That's not a thing that happens, at least that I remember seeing in D&D. So it is a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's not like you go to a crime scene and it's just oh my god, there's blood everywhere. They're listening to us.
And so they pull out the letter and they're like, yeah, what is this thing? I don't know. We'll sell it or whatever. And then they have a conversation about how they're about to go and break into Miss Quill's office and we're going to steal all her Beanie Babies and just whatever they can come up with to make the bad guys show up. Because in fact, they are not going to go into the office. They have some clockwork Mongos jump over there. So it looks like they've just gone over there. But the whole point is we're going to lure the bad guys, the boss, in. And then in that earlier scene where Carl was like, you're welcome for fixing your shelves, while Miss Quill was out of the room, he stuffed a bunch of dynamite in there when he put the shelves back. And so, having lured the boss in, we blow the fuck up. We blow the whole fucking building. It's just, okay, we win. And they do, in fact, get several notices. The chapter ends with the explosion. And he gets an assassin achievement for committing a political assassination. He gets an achievement for he is now in charge of this Skyfowl settlement because he took out the magistrate. He got a cock block achievement because he assassinated an NPC who was required for some other crawler's quest. In this case, it specifies Miss Quill. So we know Miss Quill was in the explosion and died, and we know the magistrate was in the explosion and died because Carl became magistrate. We don't yet know that they are the same person.
Which I'm kind of curious to know what the achievement looks like on the other end. For that poor person who can no longer complete whatever quest they were on, what do they get to tell? What does it tell them? Because I'm very curious.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I know, right?
That
You've been cock blocked.
That would be about the speed of it, right? You know?
Well, blue balls.
No, that's a good one. Blue balls.
That
There
would
we
have
go.
been better.
I also like that the first time you do this, we give you the reward they would have gotten. But the second time this happens, we tell them who you are, and then they get a quest to kill you because nobody likes cock blocks. So the AI is a fickle friend, is what I'm getting from this. And Carl's name changes to Magistrate Carl of Medium Skyfowl Settlement, which Donut is outraged by. How come you get a fancy name and I don't?
Technically, he threw the bomb. Just saying.
He planted the bomb, yeah, and he set it off.
Yeah. Anyway.
But they haven't completed the quest yet. So more investigation is required. And they got a boss box also. So there's a dead boss involved. A neighborhood boss. But they cannot find the map when they try. And also, the Skyfowl are not listening to Carl when he's like, hey, I'm the boss now. And they're like, yeah, whatever, fuck off. So, all right. And I like Donuts like those poor stuffed animals. They're all gone.
Maybe the real boss were the stuffed animals we blew up along the way.
Could be, right? It turns out one of them was secretly the neighborhood boss.
I want that stupid Simpsons cutaway where it just slowly zooms in on a stuffed animal and it does the shifty eyes back and forth. Dun, 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 dun. It was the angel the whole time. The angel bear.
Now you get me thinking of the Simpsons Halloween episode with the Krusty doll, the evil Krusty doll.
That's actually where I thought Mike was going to go.
Oh no! I was doing the stupid thing where Homer was trying to pitch that movie where the dog
with the shifty eyes, yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the dog looking back and forth.
Classic. I love the shifty-eyed dog. I do have to say, out of all the Simpsons jokes. But anyway,
Damn it! You beat me by 2 seconds.
it didn't copy the GIF as a GIF though. It just made it a still picture. I don't know.
For those at home, Data posted a broken GIF of the shifty-eyed dog in the comments.
So shifty.
And so they go to explore, what is now revealed by the fact that they blew half the building up. And they dig in here and they find what Carl describes as a serial killer's wet dream. An entire room filled with naked female corpses hanging upside down from the ceiling as if we just walked into a meat locker. Some of them appeared as X's on the map and were missing their heads, and others still had all their body parts. But at the very center of the room, hanging upside down in a massive dream catcher made of bone, was the naked, emaciated corpse of Magistrate Featherfall. Also, so it's all real fucked up.
Yeah, this is what was redacted from the files.
And he's described as a dark cleric in the tooltip that pops up when looking at him, and former Magistrate Featherfall. So it looks like they killed Miss Quill, and maybe she was either that or she was working with somebody else who was also there and got killed. But Carl, even earlier in the previous chapter, Carl was like, I think there's like a 50-50 chance Miss Quill was the real bad guy after all. Like, he's genre savvy enough to have figured that was a possibility. But we still don't really know at this point.
We don't know. It could be the Beanie Baby.
Totally the Beanie Baby. They got shifty eyes.
And then they're like, Carl wants to go in there and like loot the guy. And Donut's like, dude, have you never seen a movie? Like, you don't go in there.
It's a tarp. I mean, it's a trap.
And so it's like, okay, well, we'll try killing one and seeing if they wake up or whatever. So they find out that there's a magic muting spell over the area. So they just send in Mongo to like bite the head off of one. He turns his head to the side like he was eating a taco and chomped down on a dark elf's head. Crunch. I love the description. Like he was eating a taco.
I mean, look, you would think that would be something that you would know how to do. I literally just watched yesterday a video of a British person eating a taco for the first time, and they ate that shit straight face instead of like turning their head like you're supposed to. And I was like, why are you doing that? Why, don't do that.
That's not right at all.
Yeah, it looked so fucking bizarre. So yeah, when I read that, I was like, yeah, that's right. You guys know how to eat a fucking taco.
It's
like you knew how to eat a damn taco.
Well, that's the thing. That was a funny way of putting it. It's like how you would imagine like they would eat a hot dog, and it's like you eat and then they start eating it like a corn cob.
off
the side. Yeah. It's wrong. Your brain just put that image in your head, and now you're now cursed with knowledge.
I'm already over it.
No, come back.
Tim's like, I've been cursed with enough knowledge that it just bounces off at this point. And so the things kind of start waking up, and Carl,
as we knew they would,
exactly. And Carl comes up with the idea, let's go for the Fireball or Custard Lotto ticket again. Which this time,
bold choice.
Yeah,
bold.
This time it pulls Fireball, spicy, and he torches everything in the room more or less. Which also means that basically, like, any loot that guy had is gone now. But there is one woman left, one of the headless corpses. Her head had magically returned to her body, and she manages to explain a couple of things to them. Don't heal me, because it'll heal my body, and I'll turn into one of those things again.
What kind of existential horror is that kind of shit? Like, that really kind of fucked with me. I was like, oh, god damn.
Yeah. And so they've been lured here by the elves, saying that they were going to get jobs at the Desperado Club. Turns out that was a lie. And Carl's like, you were a prostitute? It's like, yeah, and if you don't like it, fuck off. I've stabbed men for less. I'm like, okay, jeez. That got intense.
Nobody's judging.
Yeah, like,
We're
no one
not judging.
said anything, man.
I love prostitutes.
Yeah, your body, your choice.
Some of my very best friends are prostitutes. Oh, no, don't say that. No.
His only friend is a cat.
Oh, yeah, she wouldn't take that well. But that Featherfall guy has been hanging here since she got here, which was a while now. Miss Quill is the one who's been running things the whole time. She's the real magistrate. It's like, okay, so we blew her up. It's all good. But we haven't finished the quest yet, because the whole point of the quest was find out why this is happening. And killing the leader of whatever is going on here doesn't tell us why. And then the lady says her husband, Miss Quill's husband, is in another place across the street where the swordsman guards stay at night. His name is Remex, and he's doing something, casting some kind of big spell. And it's like, oh fuck, another bad guy. All right. Oh, every time a new skyfowl or chickadee comes into the shops, we have to pluck a feather from their plumage. I don't know why. We give them to Miss Quill. So that's weird.
We're obviously controlling them.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, there's some sort of enchantment happening. I really hope that we don't find out about that off screen from Mordecai.
As you know, they've made glamours out of all of these dead, zombie things.
Yes, you told us that when we went
Yeah.
back for a while and took a nap and then left and came right back to where we are.
They're allergic to pineapples, so we have to go shop again and buy pineapples.
I'm glad that we didn't have this conversation while I was on my way over here, that you waited until just now when I got to the place to remind me of the thing that you told me before I left.
We have
Thank you,
instant
Mordecai.
messaging in our heads.
Thank you, Mordecai. I appreciate that. I appreciate you not telling me until just now.
Well, it's like those movies where they're leaving a building and they start a conversation as they're getting into a car, and then they finish the conversation when it cuts to them arriving at their next destination.
Isn't that a whole Family Guy bit?
I think it probably is. I don't watch that much Family Guy, but that's it is a thing that happens where you're like, so you guys just didn't talk in the car? All right.
I'll tell you when we get there. It might actually be a Simpsons joke. I do remember that being a joke. It's like, no, I can tell you the whole rest of the story when we get there. We have to stay silent on the way.
But we also get an explanation for all the dead prostitutes. So that's nice
true.
too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's Scotty. He's possessed by Jack the Ripper.
Oh yeah, from Star Trek.
They keep trying to turn all these women into Krasu, but sometimes it just doesn't work and they die. And so then they have to get rid of the bodies, and they just randomly drop them around town for reasons. And it ends with, as the building's about to collapse, she's like, kill me, please. And Donut kills her, and that's the end of the chapters.
Bet. Magic missile.
Yep. Get that experience, Carl got to kill all the other ones with his Fireball lotto ticket.
They really should have brought the girl, the tank. She would have leveled up like 6 levels from the bomb alone.
She's not too far away, and she's in their party. Maybe she gets some experience. I don't know. But for next time, we are finishing this book. We're reading chapters 23, 24, 25, and the epilogue.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to wrap up our second Dungeon Crawler Carl book. So before we get their predictions, what do we think is going to happen? End of the book, into the next book, whatever you want to predict. What's going to happen, Mike?
Oh, damn. That's a lot of pressure. Good thing Morty told me everything off screen. So, I think if I was going to make a wild prediction, now that Carl is suddenly the magistrate, he's going to go into the fight with this lich. It's going to be this big balls out fight, and there's going to be a shit ton of the Proud Boy elves. I keep forgetting what they're called. The 201st. Those guys are going to come to his aid because, they're evangelicals and don't understand that they're actually following an antichrist, which is the lich here. So,
was Christ a lich? He did come back from the dead.
He did come back
More
from the
powerful.
dead. And he said that he had a patron, which he called his father. So he was a warlock who came back as a lich, I would say. Yes.
We're getting to the bottom of this.
So anyway, Carl's going to go fight Jesus, who is actually evil Jesus, pretending to be Jesus. He's the Antichrist. And the Proud Boys are going to come to Antichrist's aid. And then what Carl is going to do is that he is going to call upon his army of angels, which these people see the Skyfowl as angels, because now that he is magistrate, he has now inherited all of these people, but also he has probably access to the guards now too. So there's going to be a balls out big ass fight.
The lich has the guards.
The Lich has the guards, that's correct. But I think Carl has the Skyfowl, which means all of these elf proud boys are going to be attacked by all of these angels that they love so much. And that's funny to me because I'm a big fan of the Dogma movie. So
Who's not really?
And so we're going to
Captain
have
Kirk.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true. We're gonna have this end of the world style fight that's gonna just be batshit crazy, and it's gonna be fun. And I don't know if everything else is going to dovetail into this, like all the other storylines that we've dealt with in this book, or if we're saving them for later. Like, I don't know if Tattoo Summoner Lady is going to show up for this, but probably not. That would be interesting. But I do like the idea of Carl accidentally getting an army at the end and having a Batman versus Bane style fight with a Lich. That sounds fun to me. So that's my wild, crazy man, batshit prediction for the end of this book.
I think that would be fun for a lot of people if that was what happened. I love making it Batman and Bane.
You know, one guy's going to talk really funny, and then the other guy is just not going to really say much at all, and then they just start wailing on each other, you know.
Yeah, no, there you go.
I do.
You know,
came
I'm on
back
board.
to your city to die, and then Batman has no retort and just starts punching anyway. Come on, guys, write a fucking retort.
It's worse than that. What he says is worse. He's just like, you came back to die with your city. He's like, no, I came to stop you. And Bane's like, well, obviously.
No,
Can we fight now? This is getting awkward.
it's almost as bad as if he just said placeholder text and just started punching.
Clever retort. If he just said that.
Look, let's be fair. There were lots of problems with the third Nolan Batman movie, in comparison with the second one in particular. But you know, it still had some good stuff going for it.
Oh yeah. I love all Batman movies, even the bad Batman movies.
Well, what's the worst Batman movie then?
Batman and Robin is the easiest answer in the world.
Oh, that's okay.
Batman
yeah.
v Superman.
Okay, that's a discussion.
Oh.
Which is worse, Batman v Superman or Batman and
I
Robin?
can watch Batman and Robin. I can actually watch Batman and Robin. I don't think I have any occasion to watch Batman v Superman again.
No,
you
I
want-
wouldn't watch it again.
It was a bad movie. I can't.
Don't
You can
wanna
at least
see
be
Jimmy
entertained
Olsen
by
be killed?
Arnold. The CIA agent?
Yeah, CIA agent.
Oh, jeez. You had to find a worse Batman movie.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
Yeah, at least Batman and Robin, Arnold's funny. Alicia Silverstone,
The movie
Batgirl's
is
a weird
infinitely
choice, but-
quotable. It's actually not as bad as if you know what you're going in there for, you can watch the movie. Batman v Superman, I don't think has enough for anyone in it to actually have an enjoyable experience. It's like, oh, I want to see how dark it is for a man to fight an alien with the powers of a god and all this. And I'm just like, yeah, nothing interesting about either one of these characters is happening here. Whereas with Batman and Robin, you can at least go into it saying, oh, this is the 90s version of the 60s Adam West style Batman show.
But I love the 60s Adam West style Batman.
It's exactly, which is why I think that Batman and Robin is a more enjoyable experience, relatively.
Yeah. Well, and I'm an elder millennial who grew up in the age of Clueless and loved Alicia Silverstone. Therefore,
Exactly.
it has a very nostalgic spot in my life, regardless of the fact that it is probably not the best Batman movie. In fact, I know it's not, but it has a special place for me.
But the fact that it has Alicia Silverstone, Chris O'Donnell, George Clooney, and Schwarzenegger, Uma Thurman,
Mm-hmm.
like it is like a who's
Yeah.
who. It has a who's who of 90s era like people
Yeah.
in it, you know, like
Mhm.
it's a very
Epic nostalgia.
yeah, it's a very 90s kid movie, and I feel like in retrospect you can go back and watch them and it's like, this is fun. At least we have the Nolan movies to fill in the, you know, this is good Batman movies, but that was like the last of, there's never going to be a Batman movie like that again.
Probably not.
Probably not. And the thing is that I would I would tolerate a wacky Batman movie again more than I would another really gritty, super dark version of Batman. Unless it was like absolute Batman, which I don't know if that'll ever get a movie, but because that shit's batshit too.
Thinking back on it today, I'm making a parallel with Thor now, where it was like Batman Forever was not as good as, but kind of like the Thor Ragnarok, where we kind of leaned into the silly and it was fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you've got Love and Thunder, where we went too far into that and it wasn't so fun anymore. And that's kind of what Batman and Robin was.
The only problem that I have with that comparison is that I can still quote funny lines from Batman and Robin. I don't know if I can actually quote a decent line from Love and Thunder. I think Love and Thunder
Fair.
actually has less redeeming than Batman and Robin.
I've only
What
seen
killed
it
the
once.
dinosaurs? The
I've only
Ice
seen it once.
Age.
I can't tell you a single line from
I
Love and
can't
Thunder.
either. The only thing I can think of is like the end where he's like, "You love pancakes," and that's not even like a great line. It's just the only thing that popped into my head.
That's way more than I got.
Yeah, I didn't remember that line from the end, but I was thinking of the end where it's like Thor and daughter leaping into action together or whatever.
Yeah, and that's all part of that same scene. Like he's making her pancakes, and she's like, "I don't like pancakes," or I think he calls them flapjacks or something. But whatever.
The only thing that
Wheat
I
cakes.
remember is the really bad gag that got really old towards the end, which is that
The Screaming Goats?
that
That was old from the beginning.
I was more thinking about a Stormbreaker being Thor's gay ex-lover, and it's slowly coming into frame all the time, which I'm like, this is the same joke as when Quill was talking to the other Guardians and then Thor was inching his way into frame. Like, they just do that gag over and over again, but then it's Stormbreaker for the rest of the movie, and I was just like, do you have just the one joke? Like, what is happening here? There's also apparently a 5-hour cut of that movie, which I totally buy, and I totally understand when other actors say, I feel like I was in a completely different movie from what I saw on screen, because apparently there's a real serious version of that movie that will never see the light of day now, and I kind of want to see the dark version of Love and Thunder. I want to see Death and Thunder. I want to see that version.
I doubt that exists.
It doesn't. But
that's the movie that they told Christian Bale they were making to get him on board.
Pretty much. But I mean, hey, the assembly cut of Alien 3 just shadow dropped on HBO Max, so there's that. Like, you never know. So sometimes alternate cuts of movies just come out for no reason.
It could happen. Okay, let's finish predictions before we could do comic book movies all day. It's or just movies in general. But Tim, what do you have to predict for where we're going from here?
All right, I'm just gonna do a joke. All right,
Go for it.
Since he's now the magistrate, that means he's like a judge. So he's actually gonna have to sit in court, and he's not gonna be able to grind. He's gonna actually have to oversee like minor grievances, and and do rulings on like this baker. He does not make bread with pure flour. It is instead sawdust and
chalk.
Plaster of Paris. Yeah. So that's what he's gonna do. He has a 9 to 5 now that he has to do. He can't grind.
Good times.
That's it. That's all I got.
He has responsibilities now. I love that, actually. It's like being the magistrate kind of sucks.
I don't want to have responsibilities again anymore.
Responsibilities.
Any
Rugrats fans out there?
I mean, they have to be.
Just have to go off and grind on their own while Carl's like stuck sitting in a. Although they blew up the magistrate's like city hall things, so I don't know.
Yes, but there has to be a spot where they go to actually give rulings. It can't be like on a tall building, like locked behind a door that you need a magic key to get into.
Probably not.
Yeah, there has to be some kind of chamber that you go to. Maybe that's not on fire. He's burned and destroyed a lot of buildings in the last 3 chapters.
It is a thing with him, yeah.
He likes to blow things up, and often without thinking much about it before doing it.
Okay,
who
Jennifer, what
doesn't?
predictions do you have?
I think we're in wrap up mode, so I think we're gonna go across the street and wrap up this quest that we have started and find out who's really in charge of whatever this is that's happening. And then do maybe some light grinding with what's her name? I've already forgotten her name.
Katya, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I don't how to forget Katya. I have a cat named Katya. I don't know how I forgot that. But yeah, I think we'll do a little bit of light grinding and then go down some stairs. Or up some stairs. To the stairs.
It's down.
However that works.
To the car.
Yes. I don't know that anything super interesting is gonna happen here. I'm hoping that we have a better ending than last book.
Yes.
I can agree with that.
That's the only thing. I do think maybe we'll end again on an interview, maybe with Odette's interview, and maybe get some kind of weird cliffhangy kind of thing there, but I don't know what that is going to look at. I feel like it'll have to do with maybe one of the previous characters that we've kind of left off, because we have two kind of hanging out right now. We have the girl child who's, I can't remember names, y'all. I'm really bad at names. But we have her, and we also have, the couple whose child we might have killed that we haven't really heard much about at all in this book, but we've got both of those. So maybe bringing back around one of those two and some kind of key up for the next floor. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that one time we're killing it or hurting a child was not funny, as opposed to now when it was really funny.
Yeah, that one wasn't funny. We didn't know that kid existed, and that kid wasn't a bad kid.
Exactly. But this kid kind of deserved it. Also, it was an NPC, so kind of deserved it. He's not real.
It wasn't like a human, like that girl.
Yeah.
That girl was a human.
Now we're just racist.
Well, I mean, that NPC's coming back somewhere, so they're not gone if we killed him.
Unless the whole city gets flattened.
That's true. I don't know what happened.
That could happen.
That could totally happen in the next 2 chapters.
How much hobgoblin dynamite does he have?
The way we like to blow things up.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that's the finale next week or next time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, it sure is.
Oh my god. My god.
All right, we're running a little longer than usual. We have 2 emails, both with reviews. I'm gonna save one for next time and do one this time. So that we have stuff. So I'll just do the first one we received. This is from Dalton. And Dalton says, as of sending you guys this, I just finished episode 6. I'm reading the books for the first time, and as soon as I finish...
Hold on.
Yeah?
What episode are we on?
This episode that we are doing now will
I think I know that, but I don't.
Yeah, one second, and I can tell you. This episode will be episode 17.
Damn. Look at us.
Perspective. Thanks.
Continue.
I'm reading the books for the first time, and as soon as I finish the chapters for the next episode, I listen. I have a prediction that Odette and Mordecai are part of like a Hunger Games situation. Like they're trying to take down the Borant and the Syndicate from the inside through the game. Love you guys and the podcast, and gave it a 5-star review on Spotify, and then attached that. So there you go.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Dalton.
And I'm with you, Dalton. I think that there's something I want. Well, I think that's the thing. That's what I want to happen. I just haven't seen it yet.
Definitely. All right. Time for an achievement, right?
Yep.
Give him that achievement, boy.
All right.
Drop it right on their face.
Dalton, my boy. Can I call you Dalt? Maybe just Ton. Dalton, you've been working real hard. You know, you've been chasing down those leads. You've been trying to figure out what's going to happen, what has happened. And you went all the way up to the magistrate's office. And you were like, what do you think of this? And you dropped a dead hooker right on the desk. You know, you're a man of action. You're a man of direct action. Asking a lot of direct questions. Because you're going to get to the bottom of this case. Because you're a detective. You're trying to figure things out. Trying to figure out all the angles. And so, in true Columbo style, you go, whoa, and you knock down the shelves. And you realize those shelves had a little hollow space in them. And you were like, huh, maybe I should tell them that these shelves are not constructurally sound. Or maybe I should hide a bunch of plastic explosive inside of them.
As Columbo does, yeah.
As Columbo does, you know. Like, just one more question. What is all this plastic explosive doing on your shelves? So then, you know, you put all the Beanie Babies up on there. And, you know now that you're going to come back in the cover of night. And you're going to break in. But that's not what you're going to do. That's what you want them to think you're going to do. Because like Columbo, you're going to get them to go back to the scene of the crime. You're going to tell them, oh, look at all these nice Beanie Babies. Be a shame if anything happened to them. And what did you do? You took out the mayor and his assistant. You blew him up. But that's not why you were doing this. You knew exactly why you were doing this. No grown adult should have this many Beanie Babies. No person should have this much power. And that's what you are, Dalton. You are the Beanie Baby Slayer.
Achievement unlocked. Dalton, you are the Beanie Baby Slayer.
I really wondered where that was going for the longest time. Yeah, okay.
You never know where I'm going with anything. Even I don't know where I'm going.
Very
Yeah.
nicely done.
We're going. We don't have words.
Even God don't know where you're going, McLean.
Random preview for the one that I'm saving for next week. Somebody has sent us in a bit of art that one of you requested.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh,
who
we love
requested art?
art.
That'll be exciting when we get there next time.
Oh, damn it.
Something for the
He's not
finale.
even going to tell us.
No.
He's got to save it. It's got to be a surprise. Fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. That'll be fun for the finale. That's great. I like that. That's cool.
So thank you guys. If anyone wants to leave us a review on the platform of your choice, a 5-star review specifically, you can do that and then send us a screenshot of it at our email address, which is dgmj@mail.com. And Mike will award you an achievement for your trouble. Or if you want to send us, whatever else in the email, compliments, complaints, art, death threats, I will accept all of these things in the spirit that they are given.
I will give a dramatic reading for the death threat.
That could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will mock you mercilessly.
yeah. You call that a death threat? Like I'm scared. Don't threaten me with a good time.
can't even
I know,
punctuate
right?
your death threats correctly.
God.
I do correct grammar.
Oh no, I have to go into work tomorrow. Oh no.
So yes, email us dgmj@mail.com if you want to send us something. Otherwise, next time we are wrapping up Carl's Doomsday scenario, and we haven't even
Have we figured out what the
figured
Doomsday
out what the
scenario
Doomsday
is?
scenario
then?
is. Yeah,
We have heard about that they have an end of the world thing in their
Yeah.
weird elf Bible, whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure that out next
we've
week.
definitely got some
or next-
possibilities. If
Yeah.
we got to the end of the book and had no idea what that was a reference to, that would be very
I know. I'll be
frustrating.
like, what the heck? What the heck?
So if you're reading along, finish out the book for next time. Just read until you turn a page and the book closes, and you'll be in the same place that we are. And I need to go back and read the extras that are at the end of the hardcovers and see when we want to start reading those. Because anyway, I won't get into it. But for now, read the last 3 chapters in the epilogue for next time. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We will leave you with our Mordecai wisdom for the week. Try to keep her alive, but if she does die, make sure you get those rings. That can apply to almost
It's
anybody in your
hedgehog.
life.
You are stone cold, Mordecai.
Good luck out there, Paul.